Yes, people, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things that you love. With those that you love to do them, it's 11:30. Welcome back to the Meltdown, where there's never a dull day in the Tottenham fan base as meltdowns, well, they do happen. Guys, we got some transfer news, views, and clues for you this morning. I was going to do this show this afternoon at 5:30. I might still do a show at 5:30 called The Meltdown. Or maybe it's the melt up, depending on what happens in between. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I hope you are, whether you have a father, did have a father, you will have had a father at some point, whether you are a father, then or a grandfather, whatever, then I hope you're enjoying yourself. It's a day for the boys, a day for the lads. Hopefully the women in your lives are taking care of you today. And I'm going to be trying to take care of you with some decent content. To talk about. We've got some massive transfer names that are popping up. Jorrel Hato, anybody? Ratata, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, ratata. It's almost worth a double ratata, if I'm entirely honest. Cash is with me on this one. Cash Grealsh. Hato, we need ASAP. Don't disagree, my man. Tony Rodriguez saying, big up Sean in the chat. Thoughts? Buy and never let go of a young player if he's good. Wowzers. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch. But listen, I hear the arguments against it, but I'm not hearing too many arguments that are like massively behind it. But I promise you, as God is my witness, I genuinely believe, not that this matters at all or means anything, I genuinely believe that Mathis Tel is going to up his game. He's going to surprise everybody to the upside. I think he's going to make a few people very, very, very muddy. And I am here for it. I'm here with the receipts. When he starts off, I was going to have a bet yesterday. I put a bet out into the chat. Dear old Sava from Savington World. You know, it's outrageous, it's disgusting, it's a terrible transfer, it stinks of bad ambition, all that kind of usual superlatives from the people that, you know, that want to go in that direction. But then they caveat like this outrage, this like rage hate by then going, well, I'm not saying he won't be world class in a couple of years. Well, what are you saying? We've signed him on a 6-year deal. If you hate the transfer, if he hasn't done anything and he's awful, then hold that energy. You don't get to then caveat by saying he might be the best player in the world in a couple of years, just so that you can protect yourself from a future mudding, of which there will be many. There will be many people. I am coming for them when Mathis Tel bangs a cheeky hattie in the first couple of weeks. So I went into the chat and I said, listen, I think you're all wrong about this one. So I think he's going to be top draw. I said, I think he was the most improved player in the 6 months. His worst performance with us was his first or his second, like in the early stages. Everyone agreed that he got better and better and better. Nice little bit of chemistry, working hard work amongst a team of 10 other men and a manager that apparently deprioritized giving a shit. They deprioritized caring. You know what? We've got a pecking order of things here, right? Does anyone give a shit? Well, if you do, stop giving a shit, okay? Because we're deprioritizing that right now. But in this tournament, we don't care anymore, okay? Because that tournament, we care. You don't need, like, you can care. You can still care. But yeah, anyway, so I think he's going to be a top player. But and then Saba goes, all right, Sean, I'll tell you what, we'll have a bet. Name me a bet, and we'll do it live on camera. I said, okay. I said 0.3 GA goals or assists per 90 as his overall stats. And he was like 0.3 per appearance. I was like, no, 0.3 per 90. Because there's a massive difference between playing, like if you get 20 GA in your season as a winger, but you've played 38 games for 95 minutes a game, then that's still impressive, but it's not near as impressive as someone that's played, you know, like, think of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Think of him, super sub, right? His GA per 90, I'm sure, was obscene. So I'm saying that Mathis Tel is going to be competing next season with, hopefully, Eberici Eze. So, you know, it's going to be difficult. it's going to be difficult to be able to command those sorts of minutes. But I'm saying if he gets a goal or assist every 3 games for every 90 minutes that he's played, I think it's a fair bet. And of course, he ran a mile from that one, didn't he? Not doing that. Well, then you don't really think it's as bad, do you? You don't really think it's as bad as all that because you're scared about those numbers. And if he gets those numbers, which are not that difficult to achieve, then, but it's not easy to achieve, then he's not a bad player. So there's a lot of outrage, a lot of meltdowns going on, people, as is standard. And this is not having a crack in, by the way. There's loads of people that are like that. I think Lubo was saying the same thing. He's going to be a good player in a couple of years. Okay, that's a different thing, and it doesn't require the outrage. But we've got to talk about some things. Guys, before we get into it, smash the like button. Smash the granny out of the like button for me if you are taking your shoes off. Happy Father's Day to everybody. And then we're going to be talking about, it's on my list of notes here, my scrappy list of notes. We've got to talk about Stunny. We've got to talk about Jorrel Hato. We've got to talk about Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, Romero, Vuskovic, Tel, Solomon, Grealish, Veliz, Eze, Semenyo, pre-season friendlies, Johan Bakayoko, Justin Kluivert, and 1 or 2 other stories. So looking forward to sharing the next hour or so with you guys. Akash is on my side. Good to see you, Tony. Thought I'd put it out there. I think Tel signing could be potentially excellent business. 100%. 6-year deal. I think he's only getting paid 80 grand a week. I say only. I think it's like 100,000 euros, isn't it? Or 90,000 euros per week. Which I believe is less than what he was earning at. I think it was less than what he was earning at Bayern. Definitely a player in there, and I can't wait to mud. But you know what happens now? You get people that are entrenched in their views, same as Daniel Levy. People that have they've cast a die, myself included. I'm going to have to go and get a Mathis Tel shirt. I'm going to go and get him on my back. I'm going to get a mural painted on the wall of Mathis Tel because he's my guy now. I've made this line in the sand, and I'm coming. Every time he does something good, I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be disproportionately talking about it. I'm going to be disproportionately talking about it, reminding everyone of every little thing he's done. I'm going to be keeping a logbook. And yes, I'm having a cider because I'm going out for lunch. And it's a big one. So I'm warming myself up. Don't judge me. Morning, everybody, peeps. Morning, Nick. Good to see you. Hate need, Sunny leaving. Not sure what that means, mate. I like your name, though. I don't know what it means, but I like the way it's written. It looks like it's written in the mirror. The ends are back to front and things. It's cool. Morning, Shawnee. I'm definitely with you on Tel. Very happy we signed him. Good boy, Stewie boy. Good boy. Good boy, Stewie. Carl Simpson. Good to see you, Carl. I haven't seen you for ages, mate. How you been, buddy? Jesus, we must have the largest amount of supporters who think they are managers out of every community. We could sign Prime Messi and someone would say he's too slow. Yeah. I wouldn't say everyone's got an opinion, mate. Doesn't matter what you support, who you support, or what your thoughts are. Everyone's got an opinion. Bearded Yid, I think I would rather have bought Kluivert for roughly the same money, but I do like Tel. Listen, Bournemouth, I think Tottenham and Manchester United are going to be, I think, you know what we were saying before? We were saying, it's a sliding doors moment, right? Both clubs, everything's on the line. Win the cup. And you're back in amongst the big six. You're back in there. You've still got a shout. You're hanging on. Loser, curtains. Forget about it. Well, I'm going to say exactly the same thing. It's probably going to be entirely wrong, but regarding Mbeumo. Because if we think that, or if United think whoever doesn't get him is going to go and get Semenyo, well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But I just think that the narrative is a little bit silly because Bournemouth, well, they're going to lose Kirkes. They've already lost Huijsen. Semenyo's on the list. Kluivert's on the list of a lot of teams. Leverkusen are front and centre on that one, but apparently Tottenham are looking at him as well, as are a bunch of other clubs. And they've got another player that's about to leave, whose name escapes me right now. Let me know in the chat if you're watching this and you can think about who I'm thinking about, because I can't think about who I'm thinking about. If you know what I'm thinking about. Tel has so much potential. Love that, Aslan. See, this is what I like about this channel. It's not just the fact that it's hosted by yours truly, but I get a lot of airtime. But I like the fact that it generally leans towards the positive. I think I did a poll yesterday. I think there was like 1,800 votes on it, to maybe 2,000 votes. Not a bad sample size. And it was six. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone who was here yesterday. Wasn't it like 64% or something? 65%, maybe even slightly more. That they're excited, that they're happy with the Tel deal. And then I pop over to Savage Stream, and it was and there was like 600 or 700 votes in his poll, and it was like 69% not unhappy. You know, same community. A lot of people, that were here because we finished early. A lot of people that were here probably went over there and then voted the other way. Tell me how you really feel. Morning, Sean and Bugsy. I have to say, I'm lined up for my receipt. Not going to lie. What does that mean, Kev? Are you? I have to say, I'm lined up for my receipt. Not going to lie. So you tell out, are you? You're tell unhappy. It's okay. I need to start making a list. I need to start making a list of people that have been. I don't do this at night. I keep receipts in WhatsApp groups. And then every now and again, I wake up like I did yesterday, and all of my numbers that have been saved will just wiped off of my phone. I think shenanigans are still very much afoot. But I think it's part of the game here is for me to lose my receipts, because I always keep track of what people say when they're calling me out for having shitty, stupid opinions. Well, okay. I'll keep that screenshot. I'll keep that. I actually, in some of the WhatsApp groups that I'm in, I literally just got, when someone says something that I think I need to remember that, I like swipe right, so it sort of responds to that particular message, and then I just put receipt and then the finger up arrow, so that then later on I can just search in the chat search bar for receipt, and then I've just got hundreds of them that are just waiting to be mudded. It's good fun. It's good fun being an auditor of people's terrible opinions. Some of them are my own, to be honest. Big up, Pete. Big up to you. Big up, Rowan. IS. I think you fat fingered the keyboard there. Aslan, people are just mad. Sean, Tel had to play in a team that got told to throw the league last season. More time for growth. 100%, no, 100%. You're deprioritizing caring. Honestly, can we just chew over that philosophy for a second? This is the guy who's the master of philosophy, right? This is the guy that's all about, it's about the message. About the message. Well, what fucking message are you sending? Right now, man, I don't really want to focus on the defeat in isolation. I'd much rather care about getting that message across. Okay. The only message that you got across that landed, if it's true, was stop caring. It was a fucking joke. It's an absolute disgrace. The more I think about it, the more I think that guy is a fucking fraud of the highest order. He got lucky. And good luck to him, though. Good luck to him. He got lucky. He landed it. He got the job done. Well done. He'll go down in the minds of many Tottenham fans, and probably rightly so, as a legend that got the monkey off our back. Context will be forgotten in 10 years' time. The 22 defeats won't be remembered. The fact that the Europa League was the weakest version of Europa League I've ever seen in my life, and will likely have to change in either its structure or its reward as a consequence of what was seen in the season that Tottenham lifted the trophy. That'll be a pub quiz question in 10 years' time. Who was the winner of the Europa League? The season that it was so bad in its new format that the next season they changed the reward for winning it from qualifying for the hardest competition to just re-entering the same one. Oh dear, we're having fun this morning, or at least I am. Anyway, let's see Tel, Brian and Bumo stats. 100%. When those two are working together, it's going to be ta if we get it done. It's easy to move on a younger player than an older one. Yeah, on high wages, 100%. Hato is fire. We're going to talk about this guy. I've got his stats to show. He's absolutely incredible. Incroyable. Most people think of him now as a left back. He plays left back predominantly for Ajax, but he's actually got more games in his locker over the last 2.5 seasons as a centre-back. I think more, maybe it's 50-50, but about 40 and 40 centre-back on the left versus left-back. He's capable of both. He's a rasatata. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but if it does happen, Chelsea Spur, then, I mean, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? It's easy to move on. We've done that one. Big up, Sean. Would you want Jack Grealish, especially his astronomical wages? Absolutely not. But that is the story out today. 50 million quid, 50 million pound gets a geezer that has been. People call me out for this, saying, "Oh, you don't really know Jack Grealish. He's still as professional as ever." Yeah, you're right. I don't know him. But guess what? Neither do you. Neither do you. All of us, unless you're dialed in to the Ibiza social world. He's right now probably off his head dancing to David Guetta with about 100 milligrams of MDMA pulsing through his veins. And we're thinking about buying him because he's a good-looking boy. I don't know. 19 GA and 160 goals. You don't know ball. You don't know that's not his game. He's this and shut up. I thought we were supposed to be judging forwards on their output. Anyway. Big up, Shawnee. Let's done that one. Tel even started taking most corners when he was on the park. Like, Mathis Tel's going to ball. He's going to ball. And clip this. Clip it. Put it in your own receipts. Everybody should have a receipt locker, by the way. Everybody. I'm sure you've got, if you run a business, I'm sure you've got a file cabinet somewhere with some receipts in it. The important ones laminated so that age doesn't fade the details in case the old tax man gives you a call, right? Get yourself a digital vault of little clips like this where I say, he's going to be a baller. And then if it turns out that he's a stinkfest, then you can come back and use this against me for years to come. But if he gets more than 0.5 GA per 90 next season and in 2026-27, I'm coming for you. I'm coming. I am 100% coming. Do you think we can sign Eze and Mbeumo in the same window, Cocoa Beans? No, well, I thought we could, but now we've signed Mathis Tel. I just don't think it's more around like, where do you squeeze them all in, Coco? Where do you squeeze them all in, mate? You know, it's look, here's the list. I wrote them down. Sonny, Tel, Richie, Yang, Solomon, Moore. 6 left wingers. 6 left wingers. Odebear, Decky, Johnson, Ajayi. 4 right wingers. We have 10 wingers on the park. 10. And I included Yang, for those of you that say that I always leave Yang out. Huck poo and spit on that Yang. 10 wingers. And we want to get Eze and Mbeumo. We have to get that 10 down to 5. And then maybe you can add 1. So Sonny has to go. If Tel's here, Sonny has to go. He has to go. And he has to go for good money as well. Less than 40 million. And the only way you're going to get 40 million for him is from Saudi. Fenerbahce is not spending 40 million on him, even though they'll sell hundreds of thousands, millions of shirts. You know, Korea will definitely fall in love with the Turkish league. Excuse me. But there's a rich history of corruption in the Turkish league where the players don't get paid and all sorts of shenanigans is going on. But Sonny has to go. Tel we know is here. So this is the keep. This is the sell. No, this is the sell list. This is the keep list. Sonny's gone. Tel's here. Yang, loan. Odebear, keep. Decky's, I mean, some people would say sell him, but we're keeping him because he's injured anyway. So that's 3. Johnson's not going anywhere. That's 4. He's homegrown. And there's absolutely no noise of him leaving. Ajayi, probably alone. Maybe he stays around and just, for the youth thing. So that's 7. Richie. Cockblock. We're putting him on this list, aren't we? Let's be honest. He's on the stay list. He ain't going anywhere, although maybe he might. But we'll put him on the 5. Who else have we got? Solomon. Well, you know what I want? I want him to go. But I think I'm going to have to borrow one of these fingers. Because he says he's coming back. And apparently, according to reports, Thomas Frank is saying that he wants to see him and he likes what he sees. I mean, what are we doing here? He likes what he sees at the championship level. I mean, come on. So we've already got 6 and then and maybe 7 if you include Solomon. Mikey Moore. Everybody that was calling for us, for him to get more minutes this year, suddenly is saying, well, bring Solomon back and send Mikey Moore out. I mean, square that circle for me. Absolutely no consistent logic there at all. And there's nothing I dislike more than inconsistent logic. You know me by now. By the way, smash the like button if you haven't already. There's over 1,000 people here. Love to see it. Smash the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and drop those comments. I'm going to come back to the comments in a second. So we're already at 7. The only people we've said that are leaving, and hopefully leaving, are Sonny, Yang on a loan, a JA on a loan. That's it. And I guess Mikey Moore or Solomon. So we've still got 6. Minimum 6 wingers. And now we're going to throw in Eze. And by the way, if Eze does come and Maddison stays, which of course he will, and Decky stays because he will, in my opinion, should anyway, but also he's injured for the year. So, but when he gets back, and apparently he's ahead of schedule, but that means November time, not January time or whatever, then you've got 3 players that are competing for the 10, all of whom demand minutes, all of whom want to start, and one of those players will probably be shoehorned onto the left-hand side. Not shoehorned, placed on the left-hand side to make room for the other one, to make room for a Decky. And that's if we play a 4-3-3, by the way. If we play a 5-3-2, where the fuck do you place Decky, Maddison, and Eze in that system? To me, I'm just going to say it as it is. I'm going to call it right now. This squad is wildly imbalanced. Just like the opinions of the fans. And I can't find the consistent logic of how we are supposed to squeeze these things in. I think it's going to be mental. Absolutely mental. It's times like this when I feel like I need a video to... Yeah, here we go. This is the one.
This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in? That's right. It goes in the square hole. And how about this rectangle? That one, that goes in there too. Up next, we've got this thin rectangle. Can you guess where that goes? That's right. It goes in the square hole. And up next...
Carries on like that. It's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, that video. Guys. Let me shoot forward. Let me see what's... we got a super chat to get into. Jaden McCullough. Appreciate you, mate. My favourite Spurs channel. Smash the like and sub. Appreciate you, Jaden. It's very nice of you, mate. Thanks very much, buddy. Always nice to get a cheeky little super choopy on the way in on a Sunday morning. Is it like Sunday morning? Daniel Fields in the house. Big up, Daniel. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, people are liking that video. It's a brilliant video, isn't it? Yeah, it's what we do at Tottenham. Square pegs, round holes. Nah, just make the square peg big enough and all the make the hole big enough and all the pegs fit in. Sensational. What did someone say about unbalanced? It's been unbalanced since last season. The club did nothing, Jack Lane. 100%, mate. Big up, Shawnee. Good to see you, Sean Smith. You never don't play winger with this squad, in my opinion. 100%. But we've got a manager who, when he goes to a back three, he predominantly goes to a 3-5-2. You know, he wants that third midfield man. Usually at Brentford, when he's playing against teams that are going to be on the attack and he wants to pounce and break. By the way, I'm starting the show with like all these negatives. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, you know, call me Mr. 360, right? I'm trying to cover every angle, and I'm trying to figure out what's the likely scenario? How do we squeeze it all in? Because it seems like every Tottenham fan wants everything. There's not enough space. I hear loads of people saying, we need a bigger squad, Sean. We need a bigger squad. Well, you can't get a bigger squad. The squad's fucking full, bro. Right, we have to get rid of some of the fucking people out of the squad and bring some other people in. I mean, we've got like 19 fucking goalkeepers, by the way. Another one just left us and went to QPR, Charlie something or other, Charlie Medden or whatever. And the Charlie guy was a player that left us last summer, who no one had ever heard of or spoke about in the Tottenham community, and he got put into the QPR first team by November. So we let another one slip through the net, and apparently we just lost a goalkeeper who was 7th or 8th in the list, because we've got more goalkeepers than we know what to do with. We got more wingers. None of them seem good enough. Everyone wants more. We're linked with about half a dozen. Here's one for you, Johan Bakayoko. I came out yesterday on yesterday's video and I said, well, maybe there's an argument to think that Tottenham are actually more or closer to getting the Mbeumo deal than United fans are willing to acknowledge, because they've moved towards Johan Bakayoko. Said that today, so have we. I mean, I don't know. Who knows the level of sincerity in these articles, or whether there's any truth to it. For what it's worth, Johan Bakayoko is a baller. I even had the audacity to stick him on the thumbnail because he is he's top draw. We like him a lot, and but his numbers are not spectacular. I think he got like 11 goals or something in and 8 assists or something. Like, was it not even that much? Was it? It was 8 goals and 5 assists or something in the PSV last season. He is a really cracking player, though. Take on specialist, just what you want. Absolute dynamite. But if you've sampled a little bit of the Mbeumo dream, and you wake up, it's like when you. Oh, I was gonna make an analogy about going out and trying to nick a bird then, but I feel like I'm not gonna do that. It's too early. We're not even past midday yet. It's still an AM time here. Still AM. Got a couple of super chats. We're gonna carry on the show in a second. Appreciate you, Drew. Thank you so much, mate. And thank you for coming on yesterday. As always, buddy, you did a fantastic. You must be up. What is it, 7 o'clock in the morning over there? 6 o'clock in the morning or something? What are you doing up? Thank you very much, though. 10 wingers and they couldn't cross a T, Sean. Yeah, absolutely. What are we doing here? Incoming Spurs shit show reported by Spurs Talk Show. I'm here for it. Smash the likes. Smash the granny out of it, mate. 100%. 100%. Thank you, Drewzilla. Appreciate you, boss. Appreciate you. What we got? I've got a bad feeling Levy will wait to see what Frank will get out of this squad before backing him. We will end up being desperate in January, says Dan Bowers. I disagree, mate. I feel like Daniel Levy's gonna. I think there's intention there now. I think there's money. I do think there's money. I've been saying it for. When all of the news were going, people that have been watching this channel for ages were going, we remember that Matt Law put the article out back in, was it February, March, saying it's a sell to buy summer. And I was like, it can't be. It can't be. There's no chance. It doesn't make any sense. Then I've looked at the reports. I go through all that stuff. I do my best. By the way, is my audio settings okay? Or do they sound a little bit too high pitched? Or I've been messing around a little bit with my Rodecaster thing for the first time, and I haven't actually had a chance to check what any of the settings that I'm pissed around with are. So I just I'll dial that one up and dial that one down a little bit, and then I didn't have a chance to hear myself back. So I'm assuming that I sound okay, but if I sound like a mouse or something, then let me know. Let me know. Audio's fine, thank you. Sound like you're on helium. Does it? Are you joking? Oh, audio's good, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show with me, Bugsy Malone. So we got the Bakayoko deal, right? 45 million quid. At a price point, everyone is There's value in everything in life. There's value in everything. Everyone's got a price. And in the words of the famous Heisenberg, name me one thing in life that is not negotiable. Johan Bakayoko, 40 million quid. What are we doing here? Audio goes higher when you're further back from the mic, mate. There we go. Tiny Tim. Who's Tiny Tim? Ratatata. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Levy-nomics and Occam's razor. When has Levy ever surprised us? Even when we got 150 million invested, it all disappeared. Yeah, listen, I don't subscribe to this notion that you do that Daniel Levy's this horrendous chairman. I just don't agree. I think you could do more. Hopefully we're going to see it. You got a new manager, you got to give him the money. You have to back him. We gave the last guy a lot. It's amazing, actually. The people on the Levy out spectrum that were waiting. Levy out spectrum, the Levy out bandwagon, probably is a spectrum thing, to be honest. Where as soon as they made the decision to sack Ange, project failed, meltdown time. Even though a lot of them wanted Ange to go a week earlier, and if they were Ange in by their own logic, right? If you were Ange out, and then you went Ange in because of a trophy, and you're Levy out because the buck stops at the top, that's generally the narrative. Then by the own logic there, you should also be Levy in if you became Ange in as a consequence of a trophy that before it was won, you were Ange out and Levy out. But then as soon as we sack Ange, back on the Levy out bandwagon again, because it's outrageous. Even though you probably can't see the miscommunication or the lack of clarity in the logic, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's who we deal with. It's who we are, mate. That's the only way. I'm only ever going to use that phrase again to talk about Tottenham fans, because it is who we are. What are we doing here? Jorrel Hato. Let's have a look at this one, shall we? Let me get the thing up. Jorrel Hato. This guy is a Ratatata. Where is it? Here we go. Can you see it on the screen? No, you can't see it on the screen, can you? I also need to get up his transfer market data. I thought I had it up though. Pause. That's what she said. Transfer market. Jorrel Hato. Here we go. All right, let's start with this. So, detailed performance data. Is it on the screen? It is. Let me get rid of Mr. Wignall's comment there. Jorrel Hato he's 19 years old. Yep. This will be interesting, this one, won't it? Is that Drula that said that? Who said that in the comments just then? Yeah, Drula. Yeah. So, is another youngster. Good point. Listen, Jorrel Hato is one of these players that are universally sort of agreed is one of the ballers of the future. Something similar to what Mathis Tel was thought of being about 6 or 7 months ago. For all those that are saying, we've had enough. You've got enough kids. I wonder if they'll keep their tune in order. If we sign this guy. So he plays predominantly as a left back, right? You can see this season he's played down here, 28 times at left back, twice at centre back, 2 goals, 6 assists. However, we go to all seasons and we ratatata on the tabs here. You can say he's played 32 times at centre back, 42 times at left back. Started at left back, but this is back in 2023. He's on the bench. Left back, very few minutes. Left back. Broke in as 90 minutes here back in 2023. I think you can see all this. And then played at centre back all the way through. He's played more minutes at centre back. Look at all the way through here, all the way through. And then kept going 90, all the way through last season. This was the season before the 23-24 season. No, sorry, the 23-24 season. And then this season, he started playing at left back. And so people now think of him as a left back. But this guy is multifaceted. A bit like Bugsy Malone. She can run and catch a ball and bark at the same time. I'm going to press pause for a quick super chat. Morton Barley, good to see you, mate. Feck potential and buy quality instead. Champions League soon. Yeah, but this guy ticks the boxes. Like you'd buy Yamin Lamau, wouldn't you? Everyone's saying no more kids. There's certain kids that you take, right? You'd buy. Okay, he's just turned 20, Aslan. Whoever said he was 19, he's just turned 20. Yeah, what did I say? He's 19. Oh, here you go. Whatever. He's like 3 days in, or he's like 3 weeks into his 20th birthday, isn't he? Bit of a moot point. Let's get to see Jorrel Hato's statistical slingshot. How do we do this? Remember, this is comparing him versus fullbacks, but he can play as a centre back as well. So, offensive stats that are in the green bars should be appreciated more because he can also do that sort of thing from a centre-back if he's good in the air, those sorts of things, and if he can get the ball forward. He likes to carry the ball, thinking like Micky van der Ven stuff, more than like a Christian Romero, but he's a good passer of the ball as well. He contributes to the top end of the pitch. In fact, let's not judge him on his goals. Let's judge him on his goal and shot creating actions. Goal creating actions. Every other game, he does something with the ball that within 2 touches of him getting rid of it leads to a goal creating action. As a fullback, that's sensational. Take on stuff. He takes players on. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens more often than most other fullbacks. That leads to a goal. He's great at drawing fouls relative to other people. But defensively, he doesn't get taken on. He doesn't get beaten in the take on, which is what you'll need. Which is what you'll need if we are playing a little bit deeper against teams that have that kind of Mo Salah type threat. Then if you're playing at the left back, you need someone that can pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two, boy. You've got to pick a pocket or two. And that's what he can do. We're going to call him Oliver Twist if he comes in. Jorrel Oliver Twist Hato. Touches, 81st percentile. He gets involved 70 times a game. He loves to carry the ball. Look at that. 36 times out of the 80 times. Sorry, out of the 70 times he gets it. 1 in every 2 times he touches the ball. He's going for a run. Total carrying distance, large. Passes received. Ajax love to give him the ball, and he loves to do things with it. Very, very good player, and he's very good in the air as well. Very, very good in the air. He's kind of like a missing part of the jigsaw. He's someone that can do a little bit of everything, and he's a player that I very much like. Sean Fagan, Rick Kane says, 100%. Hato is a perfect fit for what we need, Ro. Yeah, 100%, mate. Love to see it. Don't believe it's going to happen because all of the rumours out today are that Liverpool are interested in him. They still haven't quite replaced Robertson, have they? They're looking for a replacement for Robertson, who's going... Where's Robertson going? To Atletico Madrid, I think I saw. I think he's off to Madrid. Atletico. Season 29-30, we're going to rock. We're going to cook. Listen, mate, if you look at what's happening in the world right now, between Iran and Israel, and everything in the Middle East, between Russia and Ukraine, between Pakistan and India, you know China are lurking around and probably going to make a move into Taiwan soon. I don't think we're going to see season 29-30. I don't. Unless Lost makes a comeback on Netflix, because they got to about season 25, didn't they? And the story didn't end. The story never ended. It was terrible. Are we in for Bakayoko? Apparently, Hezekiah. Apparently, mate. Apparently, Tottenham, as I said earlier, like it's wild how you... You sit there going, Mark Goldbridge, yeah, if you're so confident, then why is it that Man United are in for Bakayoko? Huh? You know we're going to get your boy. And then it turns out that we're also in for him. Turns out we're also in. So Unbelievable. Let's have a little bit of let's get back to the chat for a second. We're doing it. That's the spirit, Sean, says Jack Lane. 100%, mate. Yeah, just go out, spend all your life savings, enjoy yourself. Go out, kiss a stranger. You know, as long as it's not Bonnie Blue. Because we don't know how much time we've got. Bloody hell, I'm still waiting for season 3. Yeah. Season 28 is so much better than season 27. Please buy grown men. I've almost read that wrong for a second. I think Frank was in for Bakayoko for Brentford a few years ago. Yes, he was. You're right, mate. You're right. That's right, K32, 100%. Tony, we didn't bring in a manager who's good at developing youth to invest in ready-made players. I think we'll get 1 or 2 players that will be like, 25 or older. Maybe just one. Could be Eze, could be Mbeumo, could be... I think you'd hope it's one of those two. But here's the other story, right? If Manchester United... Have I got the story here? Here we go, yeah. Let's get the caught offside story up. I'm going to start sharing some articles because I'm sick and tired of you lot calling me clickbait when it's not me that... I'm clicking just like the rest of you. Man United shortlist 2 players should they lose out to Spurs on Bryan Mbeumo. This is from Caught Offside. Caught Offside's Ahad Shaukat. I'll skip past all that stuff. And basically, they're looking at Eze and Semenyo, right? That's the story. So it's the same names that are getting bounced around. According to ESPN, even though Man United hold interest in trying to Brentford attacker, they will not overpay for the attacker. Right? So Man United have already come out and said, we're not going to pay more. Or they haven't come out and said it, but this is the intimations or the inferences that are out there. We're not going to pay more for players that... then we're not going to pay more for Mbeumo than we did for Matheus Cunha. Why? Why is that a hard line? I'm not sure. Tottenham bid 70 million quid. We don't know whether that's been accepted or rejected. We haven't heard too much about it. But if United can't do it or won't do it, and they're going to turn their attention to Eze and Semenyo, well, then this story's a little bit silly because Eze is going to cost more or as much as Mbeumo would, and that is more than they paid for Cunha. And Semenyo has also got a £70 million asking price. So if the story is based on this notion that they won't pay more than they did for Cunha and Cunha cost 63 million, then both of these players are also priced out by that same logic. All I ask for is logic. I don't ask for much. I don't care where you land. Just do your adding up and show me how you get your answer. Eze is a 68. They even say it. And I didn't say it. What the fuck are we doing here? The 2 players that are lined up in case Mbeumo's too expensive are more expensive than Mbeumo. What are we doing here? Fucking hell. FML. What's the next story? Let me just go back to the chat. I want to keep the chat involved today. Thanks for the Father's Day reminder. Instantly pushed and called my dad. Quick! Get onto Moonpig! Quick, Moonpig! Instant delivery! Dibbling is a top player. He gives me Bale vibes. He is a good player. But if Tottenham sign Mathis Tel and Tyler Dibbling, we call it Tell Your Dibbling. All right, that'll be the new double act. I mean, I don't mind it, to be entirely honest, but I know the Tottenham fan base are impossible to please, right? If Tottenham bought a couple of old players, they go, they're too old. They'll be over the hill before you know it. At the end of the day, you can't please everyone. Sometimes you can't please anyone. So please yourself. I'd take Dibbling as well. I don't mind it. But £50 million, I think, is a bit punchy. Be entirely honest, I think it's punchy. Drew says Daycare FC. Sean is rocking the cap as always. I've got 3 of these bad boys now. This is not the newest. This is the second newest. Some of you will remember from 3 years ago, I had exactly the same one. I still put it on occasionally, and it's got I think it's on this side, the black plastic of this thing exposed here from when Bugsy got hold of it back in 2023. I still put it on occasionally. You know, what happened to Mitoma? He's still around. Tell his cook under Frank. People are too impatient. He's 19 for crying out loud. Well, actually, Sam, apparently he's not. Apparently he's 20. Someone's called us all out in the chat. It's not 19, he's 20. When? Actually, I want to find out. When did he turn 20? He turned 20 in April. April the 27th, for God's sake. Jesus Christ, you lot. Claiming someone's 19 when they're clearly 20 in 45 days. Catch up. Catch up. What happened to the boardroom drama? Hey, mate. No idea. All quiet's on that. Oh, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Maybe I'll spin out a story. In fact, no, wait. There is a story. There is a story about that. Where is it? The Vuskovic story I've got. Here we go. Football Insider. I haven't actually read this yet, so it might be absolutely nothing. Might be absolutely nothing. Where is it? Here we go. Love you too, Aslan. Thanks, mate. Ready? Exclusive. Levy had eye on Tottenham takeover with Postecoglou's sack amid Qatar links. This is from Dr. Dan Plumley. He's a doctor, so you have to take him seriously. All right, Football Insider's, exclusives. Is this an exclusive? Oh, it is an exclusive. Football Insider, more exclusives than Bugsy Malone's OnlyFans account. Everything's an exclusive with them. Is that because they make it up? I guarantee it says sources close to Football Insider says. Here you go. Here we go. Daniel Levy has one eye on the future when he decided to replace Ange Postecoglou with Thomas Frank. That is the verdict of football finance expert Dan Plumley, who also happened to write the article. Football finance expert, even if I do say so myself, who told Football Insider exclusively that the attractiveness of the club ahead of a potential takeover. This is on the screen, isn't it? Yeah, it is, yeah. What are we doing here? Who told FI exclusively that the attractiveness of the club... How's he talking in the third person? How's he talking in the third person? He's writing in the third person, actually. Who told Football Insider exclusively that the attractiveness of the club ahead of a potential takeover was a big part of the decision. Spurs both enjoyed and endured 24-25 season. Tottenham's 1-0 win over United, yada, yada, yada. But on the flip side, a 17th place represented the club's worst domestic performance, yada, yada, yada. Ultimately, Tottenham chose to sack Postecoglou, yada, yada, yada. Speaking exclusively to Football Insider and writing exclusively for Football Insider, finance expert myself, Dr. Plumley, revealed that while Spurs were I'm revealing in the past tense whilst writing to you in the present tense. We're keeping one eye on the future with their decision to let Postecoglou go. It was ultimately still an internal decision. He said. This is too great. I don't know why I'm finding this so funny, but I just think it's shameless. He said, I think that's purely at this stage still Tottenham Hotspur's decision and the board and the directors and, of course, Daniel Levy, who's running that club at the moment. There would be one eye on the future for them for sure in terms of attractiveness of a club for a takeover, and the manager and the squad are a big part of that. But I think that is the decision that they've taken as a club right now, given where they finished in the league this season in particular. And if you are going to then offer a new manager, a new starting point, the boost of having Champions League football is a big draw as well. I think that's probably an internal Spurs decision more so than anything else for this one. What else was it going to be? What else was it going to be? Breaking news. Tottenham internally have decided to make a decision that affects Tottenham Hotspur. I can't even do it anymore. I can't read that absolute load of shit. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? Gee whiz. Sean, turn the cap backwards for the rest of the video, I dare you. Sean Newell L. Jackson. Sean Newell L. Jackson, there you go. Get those motherfucking snakes off that motherfucking Football Insider website. Big up, Sean. Hi to all the chat. Big up, Dave. Good to see you. Dr. Pimley, what have you prescribed for this diagnosis? Oh, dear. Sean, you have to do a third-person report. Yeah. According to insiders at SpursTalkShow, SpursTalkShow has decided to make an internal decision regarding SpursTalkShow. Bugsy Malone has been promoted to chief of ball fetching. Fucking mental. Absolute mental. Get a grip, Sean? Never. Get a grip. Sean Coombs? I'm not doing that then. Fuck it hell. We're doing it. Guilty by association. No. Who the hell are the owners of Football Insider? Dr. Plumley. Surely Dr. Plumley. Got a super chat there. Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. This is by far the best Spurs channel. It has everything. Appreciate that, mate. Very nice, you buddy. Sometimes I like just coming on and talking to you just one for one, you know? Don't get me wrong. I love hearing the opinions of others. And I will be doing a show later on tonight, hopefully. Although I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get people. There's not a lot of people around who are not doing what they should be doing, which is seeing their dads or being a dad. Bugsy Malone didn't make me a cup of tea this morning. I'm furious. She keeps telling me she hasn't got opposable thumbs. She can't carry the tea up the stairs. But, you know, figure it out. You're a smart dog. Figure it out. And with Frank, he will explode. He will explode, eh? Who's going to explode? I've been saying the same in private messages. Tel came here as a 19-year-old who's hardly played. It will take time to adapt to the physical side of the league. He's got class about it. You can see 100% he has. 100%. In fact, it's time for a poll. When there's a meltdown, we need a poll. Someone get me a name with a ski at the end. Polski. Time for a poll. What are we doing here? How do I get my poll thing up? Pause. Here we go. How do I get this going? Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Poll. Start a poll. How many Hang on. How many goal contributions will Tel get next season? Yes or no. Doesn't work. Less than 10. More than 20. 10 to 15. Oh, fuck it. It's 10 to 20. Done. All comps. All comps, people. All competitions. All right? Apologies for the raid. Oh, sorry, Sal. I didn't even know you were live, mate. Didn't even know you were live, buddy. Thank you very much for the raid. Didn't see it. Appreciate you. How you doing, mate? You okay? More than welcome to come on if you want. I didn't even know you were live, mate. I thought there was no one else out there. Anyway, the poll is there. The poll is there. What are we doing here? Let's have a look, see. So far, people are saying he'll get between 10 and 20. Is there someone sent me a message? Got a lot of messages. I'm going to wait and see what that says. Oh, we got 115 votes. 115 votes. 120 votes. Yeah, sorry. So I didn't know you did do a raid. I didn't see anyone saying raid, and I didn't even know you were live, mate. But thank you for raiding. What are we talking about? Next story. Next story. Yeah, Manor Solomon. What are we doing here? I've got. Oh, not you, Sean. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to argue with someone. You want to come on? Let me know if you want to come on, mate, and I'll send you the thing. If you're, you might be out with your I don't know if you do Father's Day or your doggies might be taking you out. Do your doggies make you a cup of tea in the morning, mate? I don't get nothing. Get nothing from Bugsy. Entitled little. You know what? There's something that's really. I drink quite a lot, right? Obviously, I'm a functioning alcoholic, probably, but I always get my work done first, and I start. But on a Sunday, I've said this 1,000 times. There's nothing like. So when women think that like as you get older, that they should be like training their men to walk away from like the need to be out with the boys and that. Actually, I think they need it more because in their 20s they don't appreciate it and it's par for the course. But as you get older and you get more responsibilities, you've got mortgages, you've got jobs, you've got the pressures of looking after your kids, responsibilities, all that yada 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 yada. Just occasionally men need more that kind of boy time, that lad time where you jump on a train to go to an away day and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and you're on your way to Liverpool and that first breaking of the seal of a can of Stella or whatever it is that's your tipple. And today, there's something about having a cider when some people haven't even opened their eyes and had their bacon sandwich. Just feels a little bit different because I'm going down the golf course with some boys and having a for lunch. It's going to be lovely, lovely. Don't bless Bugsy. She's the luckiest girl in the world. Bless Sean. Sean, what's your thoughts on Vlahovic for Spurs? I don't rate it, mate. I don't rate him. I mean, I do rate him, but I think that there's like horses for courses. I think he would be brilliant in Nottingham Forest replacing Chris Wood. I think that story, if Forest can get that done, it makes so much sense because he's a big player that can play in a system that will make use of him. I don't think he's good enough for build-up play, and I haven't seen anywhere near enough from him in the Juventus system, which wouldn't be that dissimilar to how Tottenham play, but the pace of the game in Italy is different. Look at like Scott McTominay, who I've always rated Scott McTominay, but look what he got. He goes from Manchester United in the Premier League where he gets a hard rub, but people don't look at him and think he was never like considered a top baller. Goes to Napoli. People from Napoli absolutely love this guy. They absolutely worship him because of his work rate, because of his time. He's got that extra second of like time on the ball, and it's not that. I think more players from the Premier League should go to Italy who are English or who are British rather, who don't get the reputation, don't get the rub, but are hard grifters and are good players in the Premier League. I think more of them should fuck off to Italy. And then look what Eric Dyer did in Germany, for example. All right, Eric Dyer will be remembered fondly by the Munich lot. Most Tottenham fans won't remember Eric Dyer fondly. I think that the Premier League is just a different beast. It's faster. You need athleticism. You need like the sort of ground zero of. For most, there are some players that can get away because they're just obscenely good, like top 0.01% of techers footballers who can buy themselves more time. But if you are someone that's just a very good player in the Premier League, then you need to have athleticism. In this day and age, you need to be strong and or fast and or an engine on you and have something physical about you that that gives you an edge. Like a Dan Burn, for example, isn't fast, but he's tall and can do things. You need that stuff because like you don't get the time in the Premier League. And so very good players who don't have that little physical edge can fly under the radar. They fuck off overseas to Germany, to Spain, to Italy, and they can actually excel. And it's weird how many foreign people come into the Premier League, but not that many English players or British players go overseas. More so now than ever. But in like the 90s, I mean, Gascoigne, Lineker, David Platt. Was it David Platt? Yeah. There wasn't a lot though, was there? There wasn't very many English like Premier League or, if that there wasn't many that went over to Europe. And then more recently, those that do sort of go over there very young and come through those systems, like the likes of Jadon Sancho and Jamie Gittins and Bellingham's and those sorts of players do it. But there's not a hell of a lot of English players that go over. David Beckham was a rarity when he went out to Real Madrid, wasn't he? Gareth Bale, rare. Doesn't happen that often. Should happen more, because a lot of these players will do really well in those overseas. It's not that, Sean. It's the right manager, coach, setup, and system. Sure, that helps. That's definitely a part of it as well, of course. I just think that the pace of the game is definitely different. Like, I think you have a half a second less time in the Premier League than you do elsewhere. But in other schools of football, if you're just physical, if you're just pacey, but you don't have technique, I think you might struggle in La Liga, because it's more technical over there, I think. But listen, if you want to. Send me a message, mate, if you want to come on. Send me a message if you want to come on. I won't put the link out, but just send me. I've got my phone in front of me, so if you do want to, you can let me know. We can have a chew. We can chew it out about old Mathis Tel as well. You can tell the audience why it is that Mathis Tel is a giant disappointment. Has he sent me a text? No, he hasn't. Someone else has. Where do we get to? I've got so many stories for you. Jack Grealish. We're going back to Football Insider fame. This one's written by Jack Grealish, probably. Fucking hell. Another exclusive by Football Insider. It's by Mr. Plumley again. There we go, Danny boy. And is it going to be written by football finance expert? Do we know? I haven't actually read. I've not read any of these stories yet. I'm just bringing them up as I'm talking to. Man City exclusive. Expert moots Jack Grealish exit timeline ahead of rule change. You are shameless, Daniel. You are shameless. Let's have a look. Man City are in no rush to move Jack Grealish on this summer, despite him being on high wages and seemingly have it. Here we go again. It's written in the third person. Gee whiz. Grealish arrived at the Etihad as Britain's most expensive transfer. Football Insider revealed on 11th of June that Grealish prefers a move to Everton over Newcastle, but despite signing 9 players in 2025 already, including Tijani Reinders, Cherki, Ray and Nouri, City are not expected to have any issues with PSR issues, Plumley told Football Insider and wrote for Football Insider. But anyway, the story says, what does it say here? Owing to their strong position, is this what the article is? That they don't have... I don't think there's any need for City to move Grealish on quickly. I don't think that's a concern. They don't need to sell him immediately for any sort of PSR compliance issues. PSR compliance, Manchester City. What are we doing here? And again, if you look at the wage bills, they're still on a very good wage bill. Oh, no shit, because they earn £750 million a year. Oh, come on. I can't even. Sorry, Dr. Dan Plumley. Oh, Jesus Christ. Grealish, Christ. Agreed, Sean, but why do English teams never win the Champions League? Well, just because the game's different. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's different. And it's a game of like systems, isn't it? It's systems. It's like styles make fights in boxing. If you just had 2 sluggers going at each other. In fact, UFC is better. You got some people that are just masters of the ground game, right? Master wrestlers or master jiu-jitsu. Other people are kickboxers. And so some fights are just incredibly boring, and other fights can just be worldies because you have 2 different styles of fighters where they just match up perfectly. In fact, that's why, what's his name? Why is my memory not working this morning? The geezer who runs UFC, Dana White. That's why he's done so well. It's not just because he knows that people like to see people beat the shit out of each other. it's because he knows how to match fights off where doesn't matter like that sometimes the disciplines you think will create boredom, but they're actually just the best fights in the world. And I think that to answer the point about football, the Spanish league just is a different style of football to the Premier League. Doesn't mean that David can't beat Goliath when it comes to the physical side. But like Brian Hill, for example, or Lo Celso, good players, bad fits for the Premier League. Then you have other players that will just fit anything, like a Jude Bellingham. He's gonna, if he was to come to the Premier League one day, and I'm sure he will at some point, he'll be perfect for the Premier League as well because he's got that physical stature. What will be interesting is how will someone like Jobe Bellingham do in the Bundesliga, who's not quite as crafty and gifted as his brother is yet, but has all of the physical stuff. But will that translate into the Bundesliga? We shall see. Be interesting. I still think Lo Celso is class, says Rowe. Also, sure, Sancho would be an okay shout on the left of a 4-3-3. Jadon Sancho, not for me, mate. No, I don't think he's. I don't think Jadon Sancho has. I think something like. I mean, I don't know. I haven't followed him closely enough, but like the fact is that he did it. It's so typical, isn't it? Like he had 3 or 4 really good games for Chelsea. One of them happened to be against Tottenham. So fucking typical. Do you think? Actually, let me see that. I'll end that poll. I'm gonna start a new poll. Where do we get to? 56% of people think he's going to score between 10 and 20, or GA 10 and 20, and 11% think he's going to ball it, and 33% of you think he's not going to do very well at all in terms of. And there's 372 votes. Not a lot of votes there. Not a lot of votes. 400 votes. I'm going to get to 400 votes. Put your vote in. Actually, fuck it. I'll end it now. I'm a flip flop. I'm going to ask you a new poll. Under Frank, will Tottenham break their? How do you spell hoodoo? Is it like HUDU? Whatever, that'll do. Hoodoo against teams like Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle away. There you go. Talk to me. Oh, it's HOODOO, is it? Oh, fuck it. Whatever. Don't come at me. Don't come at me for that. Will Tottenham break their hoodoo against the teams where we always screw up? Because I'm interested to know who will. I'm interested to know if we will. Big up, Saba. Great YouTuber. Saba's still communicating in here, but he hasn't come back to me. Got to run, Sean. Great show. See you tonight, maybe. Yeah, I'll try to, mate. I'll try to, buddy. See if I can. Appreciate you. See you, buddy. What's this? He did text me. Just firing up the barbecue. We're going to go for another sort of 10, 15 minutes. I've still got loads of stories to talk to you about. Tottenham ready to loan out midfielder if £15 million obligations included as Leeds United and Jose. Okay, here's a story for you. This is from LeedsUnited.news. I think this must be about what's his name? Must be about old Solomon. Here we go. One of the more surprising names linked with a move to Leeds United has come out of Tottenham this week. Keeping Manuel Solomon. Leeds and Spurs have developed somewhat connection over the last few years. It started with Greta Steinson wrapped up or swapped to the North London club to win himself a bigger role in the transfer team at Leeds. Don't care about any of this. Get to the nits. Here we go. Tottenham set demands for Yves Bissouma as Leeds' eye move. Bissouma starred for Spurs in the Europa League final. And yet, the Marley skipper's future at Spurs is in doubt. The former Brighton ace, however, has entered the final year of his contract. Leeds have been deemed as one to watch in pursuit of Bissouma, which would be a surprising move given the calibre of the midfielder. Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce are also being strongly linked with a deal. as are Saudi. Now the Sun, oh God, deliver an update. They say Spurs are willing to loan Bissouma out, but only if there is an obligation worth of £15 million in a deal. Easily affordable to Leeds, who are about to pay similar on Xhaka and Berghvall. Leeds desperately need Premier League experience in midfield. Do you know what? That's a good enough story for me. Let me ask you this, guys, and I'm gonna stop putting. I'm gonna let the poll that's in there ferment like a decent bit of cider. What are we doing with Bissouma? If Tottenham can get £15 million, if you can get a loan deal now, but you know you're going to get £15 million extra at the end of the year, all right, it might not help the cash flow thing, but it helps the guaranteed transfer. Are you okay with it? Are you okay with any of those things happening? If you do loans with obligations, and it just means that Tottenham kick the can of receiving the money, and it might have a small or maybe a meaningful impact on the ability to do as much business now, because it will mean that it's less likely that you can convince, or if you are going to convince teams to accept bids for players that you want to bring in, that because of that, you're going to have to go to the negotiation table saying, can't give you as much up front, give you more next year, because we've got revenue next year that we don't have coming in currently because of this, that, and the other. Would you be okay getting £15 million for Bissouma? Sell Biss. Would prefer the money now, for sure. Biss stays. I am not okay, says Kanyaru Guru Isaac. That's a cool name. Kanyaru Guru, like that. Always taking losses on players. Well, to be fair, we've got 3 years out of him. So in terms of amortization, what was he on, a 5-year deal? So we've already worked off 15 million quid of his 25. I think we paid for him, didn't we? So if we get 15, then it's actually sort of technically, if you think of it, a plus on the player. You know, the assets don't keep their value, mate. It's just not the way it works. So get rid of Bissouma. Very disappointing, says Mike. I like Leeds, and it could help them in their battle to stay up, so it's a win-win. I can see a loan with an option obligation to buy for Bissouma personally. Going to get a loan fee of 5 to 10 million and then 15 to 20 million to buy a course, I reckon, says Alfie Hill. He's inconsistent. 50 to 20 value, I'd say. We always do loan to buy ourselves anyway. Exactly, mate. It's becoming par for the course, right? Once that sort of thing is it's almost like an oil tanker. Like once it starts turning, it takes a while, but then you can't really correct course very quickly either. And everybody seems to do loans to buys unless they have connections and relationships with areas of the world that don't have to work within FFP or PSR, and that can essentially just do whatever the fuck they want and have got the intention and the ambition to do it. You know, and we haven't done any of that. We haven't sold a single player to Saudi, have we? You know, I'd love to know. It would be amazing if anybody out there is not boring, if you're bored. Well done, Sean. Good way to get someone to do a job for you that you would probably have to do yourself by calling them boring in the first 3 words of the request. If anyone out there is bored and is a bit of a data nerd, would be awesome if they could figure out how many or which teams across Europe have done the most transfer business with Saudi Arabian clubs. How much, what frequency, what players, and how many players, to see, you know, who are the beneficiaries of the Saudi system in European football. Because Tottenham sure as fuck aren't, are they? In fact, do you know what? I won't ask you to do it. I'll do it. I'm not lazy git. I'll do it. It's not that difficult. You can do it. Go on Transfer Market and figure it out very quickly. In fact, I might just ask Grok. I had a big argument with Grok last night on Twitter. Like, I actually got stuck into it. I was long of a few beers, and Grok, I was like, what are the political leanings of your developers? And the first question back was, why do you want to know? I went, who the fuck are you to want to worry about my intentions? Answer the question. And they were like, well, there's hundreds of developers across the X network, so I'm sure there's all persuasions of all people. I was like, okay. But ultimately, the answers that you're going to give me to anything that's like opinion-based are going to be drawn. Your language model is developed by the people who wrote your language model. So is there a chance that maybe, just maybe, you're going to have bias within your answers? I think I was asking them about like, I think the initial question I asked was, what would happen, God forbid, if World War III kicked off? I won't get into the specifics of where I went with it, but basically all of the answers seem to be a little bit leaning one way with narratives, and I was like, is this their actual thoughts, or is this the developers' thoughts that are getting kind of pushed into the zeitgeist? You know, that's the problem with AI, right? AI is built by the people, like the answers that you get are going to be influenced by the people that wrote the model. And even if AI gets to develop future AI, well, the AI that builds the future AI is still going to be leaning from the directives of the people that wrote the model. So anyway, I'm getting off topic. Maybe that's more for Sean Butler TV rather than this one. Grok answering back. Yeah, fuck yeah, cheeky prick. You cheeky Grok. I definitely want to know who it is that's done the most amount of work though. Probably Chelsea. Maybe in the Premier League. But you send Bissouma to Forest, says Mike. Chelsea sold 5, Liverpool sold 3, and City sold 3 players to Saudi clubs as well. Interesting. Thank you, Mick. Thank you for that, Potato. Aston Villa have certainly done a bit of biz. I'm sure there's a lot coming from like Napoli or overseas clubs as well. I'm sure like Italian clubs are getting a little bit of help. You know what I mean? I've got a few more stories for you. We've done the Manor Solomon one, so we can part that one. We've done, is this one? What's this one here? Oh, yeah, Tottenham. Here we go. Here's one for you. Football Fancast. I'm not sure who these people are, but I'm sure they're just retorting someone else. Here we go. Incredible alternative to Brian and Bumo. As per court offside, Tottenham was scouting Bournemouth star Justin Kluivert, with the report stating that the Londoners are currently weighing up an official offer. See, I was under the... Excuse me, I've got cider burps. I was under the impression that Justin Kluivert is going to go to Leverkusen to replace or to be part of the money that is being used to that's coming in from the Florian Wirtz deal. Leverkusen are going through a bit of a dredging, aren't they? They're getting a lot of their players that are leaving right now. A lot of players are leaving. In fact, let me see. Players out so far. Transfer market. Can we see it? Latest transfers. Share this tab instead. Here we go. It's up on the screen with you. What are we doing here? Let's get it by fees. Mastantuano, the 17-year-old. Oh, this guy's going to be insane, isn't he? He was linked to Tottenham last year. I was like, no chance we're going to get him. No chance. River Plate to Madrid, 45 million. He's going to be incredible. Mathis Tel. Look at that, people. Look at that. We're number 2. We are number 2. And when's this from? The World Overview. Market value from 500,000. Yeah, okay. Oh, let's just make that a mil. You know what? That's fine. I don't know when this is. I don't know how long ago this is. Jamie Vardy's going to go to Celtic. Jadon Sancho's going to Galatasaray. Nicola Jackson's going to Galatasaray. Kevin De Bruyne has almost gone to Napoli. Whatever. Let's move on. Kostulos going to Brighton. Is this another player that's going to be insane? Is it an 18-year-old? Should we have a look at this guy? Let's see what. I mean, I've never heard of this guy before. Let's have a look, see what he's doing. You know, Brighton are finding the next best player. Who is this guy? He's already won the UEFA, the Greek champion, the Greek Cup winner, Greek Under-19 champion, and the UEFA Youth League winner. He's a striker. He's 18 years old, worth 12 million quid. Brighton have just paid 35 million euros for him. How many goals did he score? Get rid of that. You just know that this guy's going to be an absolute baller, don't you? Has he scored a lot of goals? He scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goals, mostly as a midfielder. Keep an eye on him, guys. Karolampos Kostoulis. Anyone know about him? Anybody know about him? Brighton have had plenty of misses too. That's a good point. That's a good point, Xingu. Good point, mate. That's a cool name. Xingu Zhu. I like that. And Brokers Tar is at Bayern. Yeah. Evan Nielsen. What are we doing here? What's the word on Nicola Pasili? Are we in for him? Apparently so, Tony. Apparently so. I do like him. I ran him through the Y Scout and he looked really cool. In fact, that's what I might do tonight. If I can't get anyone to come on, let me ask you this, guys. Just stick a W or an L, like if it's a terrible idea or a good idea. If I can't find anybody that wants to come on to turn it into a panel show, then at 5:30, should we do a system where we do it just completely together, right? No pre-orchestrated moves from me. We'll get the Y Scout tool up and we'll just fuck around with the filters and see if we can find some new talent. Let me know. We could definitely do that. If you fancy doing that. I haven't really done the Y Scout in real time with you before, but it's fun as fuck to like filter players out. You start with like 900 or no, what is it? Yeah, 800,000 professional footballers, and then you just pick whichever position. We can do a centre mid, we can do a DM, we could do a left back, we could do a right winger, whatever you want, and then we can go. Right, well, let's think about this for a second. Shall we say, what are we looking for? We're looking for a take-on specialist, right? So we're going to need to have a certain type of amount of take-ons, successful attempts at that. We're going to need them to be good at crossing. We're going to need them to have a certain amount of assists because it's all about finding the ability, like putting the ball in the back of the net. So we can do all that shit. And then we can see maybe if there's somebody out there that's like 10 million quid that's playing in, I don't know, Athens or fucking Australia that might just be extraordinarily good. Vasily is a W, 100%. WWW. Okay, people are interested. All right, we'll do that together then. Oh, lots of people are interested in that. Cool. Yeah, Vasily does look like a baller. He does look like a baller, mate. Not sure if we're going to get him though, but any Spurs content is better than watching TV. Oh, DN Light, you only put in one W, mate. I thought we were like. Now I've got to go back and check whether all the other ones were you as well. No, they weren't. Okay, cool. We'll do some of that stuff then. We'll do some of that this evening. Have I got any more stories for you now? Oh, Vuskovic. Vuskovic apparently is maybe going to go on loan, right? So let me get this story up for you. Here's a story from, it's from Tottenham Hotspur News, but Frank already makes first big Tottenham exit call amid major Vuskovic interest. Luka Vuskovic has joined Tottenham Hotspur this summer after a two-year wait for the defender. Spurs made, and they get rid of him straight away. Spurs made an agreement to sign the 18-year-old in 2023 after the defender showed incredible potential. Vuskovic is already a Croatian international and has had a successful loan spell at Belgian side Westerlo this season. Now the task for Thomas Frank is to decide what is best for Vuskovic to continue his development. Hamburg and Club Brugge want to sign Vuskovic on loan. Plans were in place under Ange Postecoglou to send Vuskovic out on loan upon his arrival at Tottenham. However, with the Australian now out and Frank in, these plans could easily change this summer with the incoming manager set to make his first big exit call. According to the Sunday Mirror, like that, I'll tell you exactly where it is. The Dane is set to cast an eye on the 18-year-old in pre-season despite the ongoing interest from clubs abroad. Both Hamburg and Club Brugge have contacted the defender's representatives to register an early interest in signing Vuskovic on loan for the 25-26 season. Yet Spurs are in no rush to make a decision on the centre-back's future, and he could end up staying at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is yet to be ruled out. Rest of it's all just waffle. What we saying there, guys? I think that Vuskovic is going to be a here we go, generational talent. Generational. Vuskovic could be the next Huijsen. 100%. I like you, Xingu. Apologies. Sean, what does the Y Scout say about Mike Osmall? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'll write his name down. This is one of those. Someone earlier tried to get me with some. This is one of those names that people are winding me up with. People keep saying, "I'll go and see that guy, Frank Dunnershit or whatever." You know. No Wolves F1. I have eyes, mates. Not what the West Ham fans are saying. Danzo as the 6, definitely not. Danzo's a centre back. Marios, he's a centre back. He's not a 6. Vuskovic might be though. He's a good passer. Romero might be. What are we thinking about Romero? Are we going to keep him? I don't know. Any news on Moore's injury yesterday? Yeah. Heard that it's on his ankle, isn't it? Apparently. I don't know too much about it, but apparently it could be just a sprain, but I don't know too much about that. Let's hope it's nothing serious, but he's not ready anyway. Mikey Moore's definitely not ready for me. I don't think anyway. Done a shit's class, plays at the back. Yeah, 100%. He blocks a lot of chances. Can't even be bothered to play for us 5% of the time. Who? Oh, Romero. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Doesn't keep many clean sheets. Nice. Yeah, this chat is hilarious. This chat is funny. You're all funny fuckers. Guys, we're going to go for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to go. We've done Jorrel Hato. We've done Bakayoko. We've done Hato as well. We've done Tel. We have done exclusives by Daniel Lee. I've done the Dan Plumley. Dan Plumley, who talks about himself in the third person via writing, and he talks about the past in the present. Hilarious. We've done Ange Postecoglou is looking to go to Saudi Arabia. Good luck to him. Rod. And what we got here? What's the last one for you? That's not it. Hang on. I've got one more story for you guys, I think. I've got one more story for you. Tottenham Hotspur have been linked with a move for AS Roma midfielder Nicolo Pasilli, and his agents have refused to deny the interest of the London club in their client. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll come back. I've got a whole report on. Have I got it here? Let me show you what I got. You want to see something really boring? This is the sort of thing that I've been. Here we go. Don't tell me I don't look up things for you. Where is it? This is from Wirescout. This is the Pasilli report on, and this is just his general report. We can go into so much more details, but we can see exactly where he sits in the average per 90 for Roma in terms of assists, goals, shots, yada, yada, yada. You can see his finishing report. This is what he's up to. This is the goals that he scored. He scored them. This is a midfielder, right? We scored them from outside the 6-yard box. Shots on target. He's had a couple of shots on target. He's had a shot on target from about the halfway line almost. A couple of them went wide. A couple of them hit the post. A couple of them were blocked. It's fascinating. This Wirescout is so fucking good. It's so good. Just goes on and on and on in details about what he's up to, passing in key areas. Have you ever heard of this one? Have you ever heard of XG chain? XG chain per 90. I don't know what the fuck that is. XG build up per 90. Madness. It's such a cool thing. Danny Boy, Romero to injury prone. Romero's too injury prone for a 6. Erratic, inconsistent. Sell him if we can. Overrated in my opinion. World class on his day, but lack of days. And there's the World Cup round the corner, mate. So you know that if we get busy this season and we end up being in like the FA Cup final, Just imagine if we get to the FA Cup final. Is Romero going to be, oh, I'm injured. I hurt my toe. I tackled someone too hard unnecessarily, and I can't play a part of Tottenham because the World Cup's just around the corner. Doesn't play in the final. 3 days later, he's fucking training like a boss in the Argentinian kit. Pisses me right off. Right the fuck off. Right, where's that last story I wanted to show you? This is from the Telegraph. And then we're going to round off, guys. Oh, I can't even get it up. Pause. Can I? Yes, I can. Here we go. Here we go. I'm doing it. I'm doing share again. Share again. Share again. Share screen. £80 million Premier League star. Tottenham Hotspur are interested. Anything on Heung? No, I haven't seen anything from Heung, mate. Not for a while, but love it if he came. Tottenham Hotspur manager Thomas Frank looks increasingly likely to be backed in the transfer market this summer. I told you. And moves are already being made behind the scenes in the days since his appointment was confirmed. The qualification of Europe's most prestigious competition has also gifted the Lily Whites a significant financial windfall, which has been described as a huge when it comes to their summer recruitment drive, with Spurs no longer needing to adopt a sell-to-buy policy. They never had to do that in the first place, for what it's worth. Michael Bridge. This comes as a boost to Big Frank. Tottenham really want to. Tottenham really want to sign Jack. While a new attacker is firmly on Frank's agenda, the Dane could also look to strengthen defensively, with Spurs struggling in that department last season thanks to a plethora of injuries to key players. Dragusin is attracting interest from Milan amid Christian Romero's strong links to Atletico Madrid, so Frank could be left wanting for a new centre-back if either of those transfers comes to fruition. Speaking on the London is Blue podcast, Telegraph journalist Matt Law, who, by the way, is a club you will give you stories if you push narratives. Journalist Matt Law, and he said that Tottenham are a sell-to-buy club this summer. Knew it was bollocks. Knew it was bullshit. Didn't make any sense. Has claimed that Spurs are big fans of Everton defender Jared Branthwaite. I keep hearing that Tottenham are very interested in Branthwaite, and everybody thinks his fee at the moment is too high. So I don't think Chelsea are active on Branthwaite, but you never know. They've clearly looked at him, but I think someone like Hato at the moment is more likely. But that left side is more likely than right side currently. The England international actually bagged the memorable 94th player. Where's the bit about Tottenham? What the fuck is this? This is a Chelsea fucking post. What are we doing here? He'd be the perfect replacement for Romero, but Chairman Daniel Levy will almost certainly need to break Tottenham's transfer record to get him over the line. Well, I promised you a transfer record. I promised you a new a new highest earner. One of those two things is going to happen this summer, or I may not eat my hat, but I'll certainly be in the mud. As will all the Tottenham fans who don't think that Mathis Tel is good enough. Mathis Tel is going to surprise you all to the upside. Guys, we are going to leave it there. I want to say a massive thank you for joining me for the last hour and a half. Can't get it up. Too much information, says Andrew. 100%. Sean, what do you think of Nathan Collins at Brentford as a replacement? I like Nathan Collins. The fan base will be in uproar because he's ginger-haired, he's Irish, and he's got a name that most people don't pay attention to. But he's a very good player. Very, very good player. But, we shall see. Guys, I'll look forward to being back later on this evening, hopefully, so keep a lookout for that. Until then, go and enjoy your sons, go and enjoy your fathers, go and enjoy whatever it is that you do. Enjoy the sun. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. See you later on. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye-bye.